President Biden is headed to New York City today to tape a rare interview with late-night host Seth Meyers. It has been 133 days since Biden's last interview with a major network and 76 days since his last press conference, and now he's going to be doing some late night.
Joe Concha, Fox News contributor, joins us now. Joe, last week it was Kamala with P-Funk. This week it's Joe with a comedian, and it underscores this unseriousness of this entire administration. Joe, they think they can fool us with fluff, when in reality, they're ignoring the tough questions from real journalists. What say you?
Todd, this is the same president that avoided the Super Bowl interview for the second straight year, you may recall. And that was very telling at that point. So when you see Joe Biden sit down with Seth Meyers, who's the poor man's Stephen Colbert, where 90% of the interview will be about how horrible Trump is, 5% of the interview will be probably about Biden's age, but probably couching it in a way where Seth Meyers is basically equating Joe Biden with Donald Trump, and another 5% will be about probably Jill Biden or something fluffy, cream puff, T-ball kind of questions. This shows you that this president is not ready for a second term at this point. I don't mind, by the way, when candidates go on shows like this, but you have to balance it, to your point, by going on other places, including Fox News, by the way, with a Brett Baier or Martha McCallum, for example, and taking serious questions about the border and crime and inflation and about these wars that were pouring billions of dollars in. And I could go on the list as far as the topics that could be discussed. But this interview with Seth Meyers, it will be basically T-ball if you put a beach ball on the tee at this point,
Yeah, no,
Carly.
I think you're right. I think you could do the late-night interviews and the fun ones, but you also have to do the hard-hitting ones as well, or else you're going to face this kind of criticism. I'm also mainly concerned about the traffic situation that's going to take place in New York City.
She just started yelling before we got in the commercial. I thought you were having a stroke.
The last time the president was in New York City, it took me 2 hours to get home. It was brutal. Okay, so Joe, there's also this from Axios we want to talk to you about. Democrat donors are noticing President Biden's use of cheat sheets. We've even seen the cheat sheets in pictures before, and now there is a further emphasis on this and a focus on it. This Axios report says, quote, Biden's reliance on note cards to help explain his own policy positions on questions he knows are coming is raising concerns among some donors about Biden's age. The staged Q&A sessions have left some donors wondering whether Biden can withstand the rigor of a presidential campaign, let alone potential debates with former President Trump. Where do you see this going?
Wow. On questions he knows are coming. Why would he know the questions are coming? Oh, right. We've seen this before, where literally he's told what reporters to call on, and some of those reporters have shared what questions they're going to ask. And in this case, you know, with donors as well, I guess donors are saying, okay, tell the president I'm going to talk about this. Again, if this is the golf starter at your local golf course, then that's fine, I guess, if you need a couple of notes as far as where to tell people where to go as far as where to tee off. This is the commander-in-chief of our armed forces. And the fact that he needs notes at this point, 3 years into his presidency, he was also 8 years as vice president, decades as a senator, where he has to be told what to say, that should be very disconcerting for the American people. But then again, they know this already because that ABC News poll that came out a week or so ago shows that basically 9 in 10 Americans believe that he does not have the mental capacity for this job, and that is something that should be disturbing to everybody, regardless of how you vote and what your ideology is.
I would just add, if these donors are so worried, why are you donating? But I digress. Meantime, Gavin Newsom is defending President Biden's age, and his handlers helping him out. Listen.
76% of voters say they have real concerns about President Biden's ability to serve a second term. Do you think it's responsible for Democrats to put him at the top of the ticket, given those concerns?
Responsible. I revere his record. I mean, what he's done in 3 years has been a masterclass.
Does he need to do more to show?
I think he's doing everything he needs to do. My humble perspective, not only the last 3 years have been extraordinary. I've been out with, as you know, on the campaign trail. I was just out in California. I've seen him up close. I've seen him from far. But here's my point. It's because of his age that he's been so successful.
20-second response to that, and what is Newsom's play with an answer like that?
By the way, if I have to hear one more time that Kristen Welker is somehow nonpartisan, not biased, I'm going to start running in traffic. I mean, here you have Gavin Newsom saying that the Biden presidency has been, what, a masterclass? And she's shaking her head in complete agreement. No challenge whatsoever. And by the way, look, Gavin Newsom obviously is saying all the right things here in case he is called upon to come out of the bullpen and be the Mariano Rivera of the Democratic Party.
I think that's what's going on. And Joe, it seems like you agree. Thanks for joining us. Fox and Friends starts right now. Have a great day, everybody.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.